Hello, hey there. I hope you're doing fine, and thank you so much for joining me on this short Bold and Raw Talks here on Facebook, where I'm making this live video from. And I hope that you are going to like and follow this page if you're going to be watching for the first time, and you can watch a repeat of this video and any other similar videos on my YouTube channel, the name Benjamin Junior Bogonko. Please subscribe if you'll be watching this on my YouTube channel. The topic that I have here today is I have said the reasons why, the reasons of why you are ignoring to leave that person will be the same reasons that will make you eventually leave that person. Relationships are very beautiful things. I have a passion to talk about them because our lives are surrounded with all kinds of relationships, whether it's you and yourself, you and your family members, you and your workmates or your employees, or you with your neighbors, and maybe you with the people here on social media platforms. If you don't know how to deal with these relationships, then it might affect you, affect your productivity, your well-being, and eventually even have an impact on your life and decision making. I want to begin by just giving you a very short story of a lady who approached me because I received messages from some of them, been in a relationship for 12 years, not yet legally married, I think cohabiting, staying with a man. The lady has a son, and they have been together with that guy for 12 years. The first 1 year, she noticed so many bad things through the words and actions of that man. The man was abusive. The man had anger issues. The man used to drink alcohol. The same man used to cheat or lie. The same man had a lot of emphasis on his ego and how important he was in that relationship because he was a little bit older than that lady. That was the first year when she met him. What the lady did, she went ahead and ignored all those signs, hoping, like what most people hope, and I don't know you're one of them, that maybe the handsome guy, the same man who used to be very romantic from the first few weeks, is going to change and become a gentleman, stop being abusive, reduce alcohol intake, try to become more understanding, and also allowing the lady to give her opinions, and even stop being abusive or control his anger issues. She thought that after some time he was going to change. The saddest reality is it has taken her 12 good years to finally realize that that gentleman or that man is not going to change. On the other hand, the same gentleman has changed. And by changing, I mean the bad things he was doing and saying have gotten worse. The cheating became more rampant and even in front of that lady. Alcohol abuse became too much that he could even drink as much as possible to a level of even forgetting to go to work at some days. The list is endless. And the reason why I'm doing this video is to remind you that the bad things that somebody is doing to you or showing you will eventually be the same reasons why you will finally walk away. Our brains are very powerful. Our brains can record both bad and good things. But did you know that your brain can keep a record of very many bad things for the rest of your life? When was the last time that somebody told you something really bad that you haven't forgotten the words, the voice, the tone of that person and what he said to you? It could have been yesterday or 1 week ago or even 1 month or 10 years ago or even 20 years ago. You still remember exactly what he said or typed or did to you. That's how powerful our brains are. In fact, even the good things that you are told or you hear or you see, it's very easy for you to forget them. But the brain keeps on recording and storing these bad things done to us. You can imagine from that story which I just shared with you, a lady staying with a man for 12 years, and the same man has not realized that his actions and his words are actually affecting that lady's life. Up to 12 years, that is when she's beginning to question, why is he doing all that to her, and why is she together with him? They have not had a child together. They met each other when she had a son from another man. But for those 12 years, she told me she doesn't remember the last time she was happy. But the funny part is, she says, but I love the guy and the man loves me. My question is this: when you hear somebody saying that I love him or I love her, what comes into your mind? Do you think that when people love another person and yet they are hurting them or doing very bad things to them, is it a good thing? Is it fair? If you say that you love so-and-so, but that person is doing the opposite of the kindness and the love and the care that you're showing to him, he is actually doing the opposite. Is that being fair? Are you being fair with your life? Are you being fair with your health? Are you being fair with your money? Are you being fair with your well-being or even your future? Staying in a very toxic relationship for 12 years is not a joke. If somebody begins that relationship now, similar to that lady that I shared with you, when I'm making this video the year 2022, it will take her 12 years until 2034 to realize that she made a mistake to hanging on there with somebody who was very toxic and was not willing to change. That's a very long time. If she could stay for 12 years with somebody who is doing very bad things, the next question is, which I also want to ask you, the viewer, if you are together with somebody for 12 years and doing very many bad things to you, are you willing to stay 12 more years? That's the question I asked that lady. Do you want to stay 12 more years? And the answer was obviously no. And that's why I've come to you. That's why I'm sending you this message, Benjamin. I want you to listen to me and to hear my story. Yes, I listened and heard her story. And I'm sharing it to you as a viewer. Maybe you are in the same situation. You began off a few days, it was okay. But a few weeks later on, you began seeing bad things coming from the mouth, coming from the texts, and coming from the actions of that specific person. But you stayed there. You're still doing it. You're still hoping and believing that he will change. He will finally come to his senses, or maybe one day he will wake up and realize that he is hurting you and he will stop doing it. When you give people room and chance to play around with your feelings, to mess up with your values and your beliefs, when you give someone a chance to continue hurting you, when you give somebody a chance to continue cheating on you, when you give somebody a chance to continue abusing you physically and emotionally, it means you have enabled this person to continue doing this. You are just an enabler. And when you allow them to do it, it is very hard for any other person to help you. Even the professional counselors that you might think of going to share your story with, you want to talk to another man, you want to talk to another woman to hear your story. The truth is, the final decision for you to say enough is enough will come from you. Because it's you who stays with this person. It's you who knows the exact pain, the drama, the frustrations that this person has been putting you through. Nobody else knows. The social media people do not know. Benjamin doesn't know. Even your own family members. The first people who should be aware that you're going through hell should be aware of our daughter, our sister is going through all this. They should be knowing that. But unfortunately, even them, they don't know. Your co-workers, the people you spend 5 days in a week together working and putting a fake smile in front of them, they also do not know. Your boss or your employees that you're working they're working under you, they have no idea. You know what you have been going through. And I want to finish this video and tell you this. You know what is good and you know what is bad. And that is the worst part, that human beings know that when people or someone are doing bad things to them, it is bad, it is unfair, it is unfortunate. They know it. They know it. In fact, I am sure you have met a friend who has come to you, whether it's in inbox or visited you or invited you to his or her place to share with you what he's going through. And then they open their mouth, they tell you the story, maybe similar story of this lady who has been in a very bad relationship for 12 years. You sit down, you listen, or you chat back with him or her for even 1 hour, 2 hours, or even 4 hours, or the whole day. And then you offer your advice. And then you say, if you do this, maybe this will work for you. I did that before and it worked for me. You tell this person that to do it. Then a few days later on, or a few months, the same person comes back again with the same story, the same drama, the same dilemma. It becomes frustrating. And that's why professionals get paid to listen to these dramas, because they know for a fact the ultimate decision that this woman has to make will come from her. A counselor is not going to decide for you in what to do. A counselor is not going to tell you, hey, you need to walk away. Counselor is just going to sit there, listen to you, and guide you, and then finally let you to make your own decision. Because you know what is good. You know what is right. Love doesn't hurt. Love is not abusive. Love is not somebody who is constantly putting his self-interests and needs in front of you or ahead of you. Love is not about somebody who is constantly disrespecting you. Love is not about somebody who is cheating on you constantly. Love is not about somebody who is constantly drinking too much, abusing alcohol and all other forms of drugs, and still wants to claim that he loves you. That's not love. Love is the opposite of what you're going through, because there are people who are actually going through better and beautiful moments because their spouses or their partners are not doing what your spouse is doing. Love is not somebody who keeps quiet, shuts off communication, and decides to go away, go missing, and never open their mouth or their feelings or allow you into their world. That is not love. And I want to challenge you after listening to me today. What are these bad things this person has been doing to you over the last few weeks, months, or years? What are those bad things? And are you willing to give him 1 more year? Are you willing to add 2 more years? Are you willing to increase more years with that same person? If you're willing to do it, then maybe this video was not for you. Maybe you just bumped into me talking, you listened to me, and you knew I was talking about you and your story, and you don't want to do anything about it. Then maybe you can sit and wait for another video. Maybe the next video will open up your mind. Maybe another speaker will come and share what he or she has to share that will make you feel and believe that you actually have to do something. When you die out of a very bad relationship, the only thing you will get are praises. People get praised when they are lying lifeless in a casket or under the grave. That's when you hear how good they were, how amazing they were. You can imagine you are a good person. You do your best. Even God or Allah that you serve knows your story more than any other person. But the world and the person who is putting you through hell doesn't know and do not care to know. The only time we will know you are a good person is when you will die. And that is the worst scenario. Because at that time, even when we will be praising you and saying how you are amazing on your social media platform or even in your funeral, you will not be there to appreciate these words and compliments because you will not be there with us. And that's why I want you to think deeply about how you are allowing somebody to do so many bad things to your life for a very long time without doing anything about it. That's what I want you to think about deeply. You have been there for a very long time. It's taking too long. And how long are you willing to last there? Think about it. And if this video was speaking to you in one way or another, please find time to click down there on the right corner. Share this video on your timeline. Tag a friend on the comments. Bring another person who has asked you for some advice or wanted for direction about what is going on in her life, about relationships and stuff like that. Tag her. Tag her on the comments and tell her, you see, this is what I was telling you. This guy is speaking exactly what I was telling you. I hope you will hear his voice and do something about it, because you have tried to help her. You did your best. You offered a listening ear. You tried to advise her, not once, not twice, not 3 times. You have done your part. Let other people, including that same person I've been talking about, do their part. It is their responsibility to fight and find happiness and respect and love. Nobody else will respect you in this world if you don't respect yourself. Nobody else is going to give you happiness if you don't create it. And nobody else is going to love you if you don't love yourself, to an extent of not allowing people to continue hurting you. Please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I hope to see you in the next videos. Thank you for buying the stars here on Facebook and beautiful comments down there below. I really do not take it for granted. Thank you for being with me since the beginning up to now. I wish you a nice day or an evening or a night, wherever you are, where you're watching me from. I hope to see you in the next video. Take care of yourself and God bless. I love you. Goodbye.